Welcome dear students. So in this video we are just going to see the structure of page table. So that is just going to tell the different ways in which the page table could be represented. So there are three different ways in which we could just represent the page table. One is the hierarchical paging, the next is hash page table, the next one is inverted page table. So we'll see all in detail. So let us just take the first type of page table representation, that is hierarchical way or multi-level of page table or paging concept. So nowadays most of the modern computer systems would support the larger logical address spaces. So that might be from 2 to the power of 32 to 2 to the power of 64. So but the problem is that as the logical address space grows, the number of pages increases, which increases the size of the page table, and also the space required to save that page table will also be increased. So as we all know that, so when we have a larger logical address spaces, so when you just divide that into so many pages, so as the logical address space increases, so definitely the number of pages will also increase. So the number of pages increases would causes the number of entries to be increased in the page table. When the number of entries increases, so definitely the size of the PT will also grow. So when we have such larger page table to be stored, we would require more number of physical memory space. So what is the solution in order to just avoid the memory requirement of that particular page? Because when you want to bring the process onto the main memory, we also know that the corresponding page table should also brought onto the main memory. When the page table, it is just going to occupy so many bytes on the memory, so this would really matters a lot. So what is the solution for this? So we have a paging of page table technique, so that would be just useful in saving the space required for page table, required to store the page table. So then what is paging the page table? Let us have this example over here. So I have just drawn some random diagram over here so that you could just better understand, but while writing for the exam you could just show this diagram for the two-level paging diagram. So let us have one process here which have been just divided the logical addresses into 100 pages. I have one process which has 100 pages, and here we have a physical memory available. So in order to bring this process with the 100 pages onto the main memory, I need to make sure that all 100 frames are available on the physical memory. So only for this page table, if you would require 100 number of frames on the physical memory, so it would be, just imagine so how fastly it would exhaust the memory space on the physical memory. So what is the solution? So instead of just storing the very big page table onto the main memory, what we can just do is that we could page the page table. Page the page table is nothing but divide the whole table into a smaller tables with the smaller entries. So take this example. Here we have a table with 100 pages. So instead of having the 100 entries, I am just going to divide this table into a 10 smaller tables, wherein which each table would have a 10 entries. So here you can just see here the first 10 pages have been just divided into a one page, I mean the smaller table, and that page, a smaller page table would be just represented with the P0. So P0 is the first page, so it would represent all 10 other pages within that. So likewise the next 10 pages of the outer PT, I mean the original page table, have been divided into a second table. So that second table or that smaller table would be represented with the page ID of P1. So that would constitute the one page. We are making a pages to be combined to a one page. So 10 pages combined to one page and call it as P0. The next 10 pages have been just merged to the one page representation. Likewise, so all the 10 blocks of pages have been just merged to represent one page, so that when you just divide these 100 pages into a 10 smaller pages, so we are just getting only 10 pages now. So these 10 pages can be a entry for the outer page table. We need to maintain one more page table. So the one more page table is nothing but the tabling of the table or paging of the table. So we got to derive the new page table with only 10 entries now, where the entries for them would be a P0 to P9, where that P0 would internally pointing to 10 other pages inside the original page table. So what happens when we just divide the in that way, so we could have only this outer table brought onto the main memory. So when the logical address is generated by the CPU, it will be split into a 3 parts, where it would, the first part would indicate the outer page table, get that index, get into that. So here when you just access the content of that outer page number, so this would give you a index of the internal page table. So index for the internal page means the page within the inner PT. You can just directly go to that particular page and get the frame number and go and check what is the content of that frame number on the physical memory. So that is how we could just deal with. So what happens when logical address generates this way, so you are going to load only this outer page table will be anyway on the main memory. You could just go to that particular index, that is the outer page table. Say suppose it generates 8, 86 and 4. So 8 is the outer page number. So that is somewhere with the 80s to 89 pages have been merged to one page, right? That is P8. So that is my page, outer page. So within that it would have index for it would be just looking into P86. Then get that, go to that particular page and get the frame number. So this is how, so it is just going to help us to load only the P8 from the outer page, from there to only the P86, then just you can see into the one particular frame on the main memory. So we'll see how exactly the experimental way of reducing the table size can be just done. We'll see in the problems, but for the basic concept you must be aware that the user table is just going to be divided into a smaller tables, so that those entries will be made in the outer table. So somehow some kind of loading, instead of loading the entire page table, only the one page with the outer page table and the inner page table would conserve the space on the physical memory. The same diagram over here, so where in which the entire the original page table have been divided internally into several smaller pages, and we will be having a outer page table representation for these smaller tables within the inner table, where the entries of this outer table would be the base address of inner tables. So when you just get into that, it would say the frame number in which this particular page is present. Go there and fetch the content from that page table. So now let us just consider with the example how hierarchical way of representing the page table or dividing the page table into a page table, the smaller page table, would conserve the spaces. Let us just consider this example. Consider the system with a 32 logical address space and the page size of 4 kilobytes. So we already solved the problems on this. If you have not aware of this, please go back to the previous video and check out how do we calculate the number of pages and how do we just come to know the size of the PT. Everything have been just told in the previous video. Please refer that video. So now we need to just come to know that what might be the problem with the larger page table and how do we just deal that problem using the hierarchical paging concept. So consider this system with 32-bit logical address space and the page size of 4 kilobyte. So we know that. So how do we get the page the number of pages? So many logical addresses, if you divide them into the page size of 4 kilobytes, it is possible to divide those many logical addresses into 2 to the power of 20 number of pages. So that is the paging concept, right? All the logical addresses have to be divided into a pages. When you divide them into the pages of this page size, so it is possible to get 2 to the power of 20 pages. So 2 to the power of 20 is nothing but 1 megabyte. So 1 megabyte or 1 million entries will be there in the page table. So the process have been divided into so many pages, and so many pages, nothing but so many entries in that particular page table. So now we need to just check out for that page table of entries 2 to the power of 20. So what would be the size? To calculate the size, so we must be aware that, so how many bits are used to represent the frame number within the page table, because the content of the page table is the frame number. So if each entry is of 4 bytes, so means say assume 4 bytes is used to represent the frame number, then we can easily come to know that what is the size of the page table. It could be the number of entries into to represent each entry or content. So what is the size required? So since we have 1 MB entries in the page table and each entry would require 4 bytes to represent the frame number, so in total it would require 4 MB of space, which is actually greater than 1 page size, because I have the page size of only the 4 kilobyte. But when you just look into the page table size, it is actually 4 megabyte, which is more than the 1 page size. So that when you want to load the process onto the main memory, you need to bring along with that process, you need to bring the page table associated with that. When you want to store the page table, since it's larger than the one particular frame, it would require more number of frames to be accommodated, because 1 page space is not sufficient to hold the page table of 4 MB bytes in size. So means to bring the PT on memory, one frame is not at all sufficient, because even the one frame is of the same size of page size, right? So the frame size is of 4 kilobyte as of the given data. So it is not possible, because 4 MB is greater than 4 kilobytes. So paging the page table is required until the page table size becomes smaller enough to fit exactly in 1 frame. So that's why when it is not possible to fit the page table in one particular frame, so what do we have? We have the solution of paging the page table. So we need to just page or divide the page table into so many outer tables in such a way that, so that total amount of space to represent that page table should be smaller enough to fit into a 1 frame. Until that, we need to keep on dividing the page table. So let us see how this 4 MB can be just reduced, so that it is possible to fit on 1 frame. So we need to make somehow this 4 MB of PT to be reduced, so that this can be fit in 1 frame. We'll see that. Now, what is the solution? We need to break down the PT. So, break down the PT into the number of pages. So, again, this page table of size 4 MB has to be divided into a pages. So, that is what paging of page table. Page table 4 MB is going to be divided into a page size of 4 kilobytes, so that that page table itself can create 1 kilobytes of pages, or you can just say that 1024 number of pages, or so many entries can be just generated when you divide such a larger table into a smaller entries or smaller tables. So now we need to just calculate. You got to know, right? So when we divide this 4 MB of larger table, so into again the page sizes, so it is just going to get so many number of pages to be stored in the outer table. Now we need to calculate the what would be the size of the new table, so that all those 1024 entries can be just represented. So for the new outer page table, again assume the 4 bytes to represent the inner page table entry is required. So how many entries it got divided into? It got divided into 1 kilobyte. From the 4 MB it got divided into 1 kilobyte entries. So for each entry, if you require the same amount of bytes to represent that number, so assume, so it would require 4 kilobytes, which is same as one frame size. Means we are just going to get it as 4 kilobyte. So 1 KB into 4 bytes, which gives you a 4 kilobyte, which is exactly same as the one frame size. Now my outer page table size has reduced to one frame size. And you can just see, you can just imagine here. So when we have 2 to the power of that is 4 MB of outer space, I mean 4 MB of page table is available, that have been just divided into the inner table of size 1 KB. So 1 KB, these 4 MB have been just divided into 1 KB entries in the outer table, where 1 KB of entries, each entry in the outer table would have 1 KB of inner pages representation. Means they are representing to each page in the outer table is representing to 1024 pages in the inner PT. So that is the one. So now it is smaller enough to fit in the one frame. So we got succeeded in dividing the page table into a smaller, so that it would require only one frame to occupy on the physical memory. So now to support this type of hierarchical paging, so the page number field in the original logic address must be further divided into two parts. So it would be known as a two-level paging. So when we got this 4 MB divided in that got divided into 1 KB of page table, so only twice we have just done. The inner table have been just divided into the first level of second time of division of the page table. So that's why it is two level, from the first level, the original level, to the newer outer table, right? So that's why it's only two levels of dividing. So that's why it's a two-level paging scheme. So when you want to support all these problems what we just studied about in the previous, so the original logical address, so that had 32-bit machine with the 1 kg page, 1K of page size, so it would require 22 bits for representing the pages. So all this theory we have just discussed, why it is 22 bit, why it is 10 bits, and all have been just discussed in the previous video. Please refer that. So with the original logical addresses, if you had 32-bit address space, so we got to have 2 to the power of 20 pages. So it would indicate that n number of bits required to represent the pages. Since it is 20 out of 32 bit, 20 plus this 4 megabyte. This is the size, right? Size of the original PT. So when you just divide, represent this in the power of 2, so 4 MB can be just written as 2 to the power of 22. So 22 bits are used to represent the page number, and remaining 10 bits were used to have the page offset. So since that is also not possible to fit in the one frame, so we had divided this 4 MB to a further smaller pages, smaller tables of size 1 kilobyte. So that, and when we just divide each entry, so that was creating a smaller page, that is the outer page table of size only 4 kilobytes. So with the 4 kilobytes, so we could just come to know that when you just divide this 22 further, so it is just going to help us to have only 12 bits. With this, you should compute how many bits are required to represent the second page table, that is the outer page table. So 4 kilobytes is nothing but 2 to the power of 2 into 2 to the power of 10. 1 KB is 2 to the power of 10. So it would be 2 to the power of 12. So out of 22 bits, if you have 12 bits to represent the outer table, so definitely 10 remaining will be used for inner page table entries, where this will be the normal offset, because within the internal pages, so we'll be having so many lines, right? So that offset can be just directly added to get the particular location on the physical memory. When we just divide the logical addresses into a page number field into a level, so that would say the hierarchical way of representing or hierarchical way of proceeding with the paging or hierarchical paging. So when we just divide the one page number into the two fields, so this would say that this is a two level hierarchical representation. So then what is P1? P1 is an index to the outer page table, and P2 is the displacement within the page of the inner page table. Means, so say suppose if you just going to say it's a 12, I mean when this 12 bits would represent the so many entries in the outer table, so where each entry would have 2 to the power of 10 entries over there. So you'll be having an index generated by the CPU once the CPU generate the logical address. So accordingly you could just reach that particular location, so add the offset and get the frame number. So remember P1, when you just divide the page number into two halves, the first page number would always give the index to the outer page table. P2 will be the displacement within the page of the inner page table. So just have this example to clear the doubts. So here the CPU, when it got execute the process, it is just going to divide the logical address into a three parts. The page number have been just divided into a two level paging here, page 1 and page 2. I mean the index for the outer table and index for the inner table. So here the first index value will be just fetched in order to look into the outer table. So accordingly it is just going to check out this particular page is pointing to which page on the inner page table. So say suppose I'm just generating the P1, so which is asking for the page 1 on the outer page table. Move to that particular index page, so get to know, so according to this, so what is the second page, I mean inner page, it is just looking forward to. So when you have the P2, so just go there, so within that it is asking for particular page within the page table, so inner page table. So you will reach to that particular location, get into the frame number, so add the offset, so that we could able to reach that particular location on the frame number. So this is like the way of splitting or translating the address in this approach would be known as forward mapped page table. Hope you understood. So that is what we just discussed here. So when the logical address generates the address something like this, the outer page index is used to index or to just travel the outer page table in order to reach that particular index value. So now move to the content of that page number. So this would indicating that particular page on the inner PT. Say assume I'm just looking forward to the 8th page in the outer page table, go to that location, so get the inner page table index, so it is just pointing to P86, so move to that particular location, get the frame number, add with the offset, you can just reach that particular location on the frame. So this is how the address translation from the outer table to the inner table to that particular location will be just done. Hope you just understood the hierarchical paging with the two-level concept. So here we have the hierarchical paging for 64-bit architecture. So in the previous example we got to see the 32-bit architecture. So we'll see how long we need to keep on dividing the page table into a smaller table in order to make that particular page table to be fit on the only one frame. So let us see for the 64-bit architecture with the same page size. So two-level paging scheme is not sufficient for this. So let's see how it is not possible with the two-level paging. So for 64-bit logical addresses, for the same size of the page size, that is 4 KB, and assume 4 bytes are used to represent each entry content. So let us calculate the page table size now. So from this 64-bit logical addresses with the size of 4 KB, it is possible to get the number of pages as 2 to the power of 52. So number of logical addresses divided by page size. So this would result in 2 to the power of 52 pages. And for each entry, that is nothing but 2 to the power of 52 entry. If for each entry, if you require 4 bytes to represent the frame number, the content of it, so definitely 2 to the power of 52 entries into 4 bytes would give you a 2 to the power of 54 bytes as the page table size. So when you just want to fit this page table on the one frame size or one frame, what is the frame size? It is equivalent to page size, that is nothing but 2 to the power of 12. So since it is having 2 to the power of 54 and it is not possible to fit in the frame size of 2 to the power of 12. So it's not possible. So what is the solution for this? So we need to page the page table. So page it means break the page table. So now the page table size is 2 to the power of 54 from this. So now we need to divide that into the pages. And of course the page size is of same thing, 2 to the power of 12. So when you divide the page table 2 to the power of 54 into the page size of 2 to the power of 12, so that page table itself can generate 2 to the power of 42 number of pages. So now assume again 4 bytes to represent the internal page table offset, so that we could just get the second table, that is outer table size, as 2 to the power of 44 bytes. So is it possible to have one frame to fit this? So since the page size is 212 and still the second level of page table is 2 to the power of 44 bytes, it's not possible to fit this page table in the one frame. So again, what should I do? I should go for again paging the page table. So 2 level paging is not feasible, so again page it. So when we actually page the page again, when we just actually page the page table again, the PT size was 2 to the power of 44. So divide that into the number of frames, number of pages again of the same size, 2 to the power of 12. So again that second level of pages would consist of 2 to the power of 32 pages again. To have 2 to the power of 32 entries, wherein which each entry requires 4 bytes. So when I just multiply that, it would give 2 to the power of 34 bytes for that particular PT size, or PT's the third level. I mean, when you just divide that further, it would cause the page table size to be 2 to the power of 34 bytes. So is it possible to fit in one frame? So it's not yet possible now. So what is the solution? Again, we should further divide the page table of 2 to the power of 34 into the next level of paging. So this continues until the outer table page size becomes smaller enough to fit in one frame size. So when you keep on dividing the page table into the next level of paging, you must be aware that what would be the logical address representation. So when we have when we just have 2 to the power of 52 entries for the outer page table, so 52 was enough to represent the page number. So out of 64, if you use 52, so 12 bits were remained for offset. So since it was not successful, we have divided this into the next level of paging, so in which it would generate 2 to the power of 42 entries over there. So out of 52, if you have 42 representation for the outer page table, so 10 bits were enough to have the indicator or to have the entries pointer to the inner page table. 10 bits were enough. So is this feasible? Since even this is not feasible, so out of 42, we need to again split the pages. Again we need to split this page. So that got divided into 2 to the power of 32 entries. So split this to the 32 and make 10 to be the next time in the second level of inner page table, and so on. This continues. So when we have the 64-bit architecture, even the 3-level paging is also not feasible. So paging of the page table continues to many levels until the page table size becomes smaller to fit smaller enough to fit into the one frame. So hope you understood the paging concept. So much detail, even though it is not required. So this is for your information that so how exactly hierarchical paging would happen. So next is that hashed page table. So this is the second way of representing the page table. In the hashed page table, so this is used when we have the system with a logical address space larger than these two. So but the thing is that in this system chains of linked lists are maintained. So we are just going to implement this in the different way of the normal page table. So here the system is just going to maintain the linked list. So when the CPU generates the logical or virtual address, the virtual page number field from the logical address is used to generate the hash value using some hash function. So these hash values are stored in hash table. So we'll see the diagram, you will better understand here. So here let us just have this. When we have the CPU that generate the logical address, we are just going to fetch the page number or the logical address or the virtual address, and that will be given to the hash function. Some hash function will be performed on this page number. When we just done with the hash function, those hash values will be stored in the hash table. So the hash table would have the hash values for that particular page numbers. Remember that. So now each entry in the hash table points to a specific linked list. So what are the linked list entries? It has to maintain 3 entries. So linked list has 3 nodes. The first node would indicate a page number. The second the first entry in the first node itself is a page number. The second would be the frame value, and the third would be a pointer to the next element in the linked list. So here we have made each of the hash table entries to maintain the linked list. So here we could have n number of nodes in this link, where each entry or each node will have 3 entry. One is the first entry would be the page number, the next is the frame number. This is the pointer to the next node in the list. The page number in the hash table entry is compared with the first element of assigned linked list. So when you actually just fetch the page number, do the hash function on it, it generates some hash value, store that into the hash table. So now you need to just compare this hash value with any of the page number to be matched in the linked list what it is pointing to. Say suppose if this hash value matches with any page number in the linked list, that particular frame number will be fetched in order to get to know that this page is present in that particular frame. Fetch the frame there, add the offset, get into that particular location. So this is the simple concept of page table. Instead of having the page table over there, so use them and use a page number as the index, get to know the frame content, then move to there. So here what we are doing, we have the page number fetching, perform the hash function, store the hash value in the hash table. So again, for any logical address the CPU generates, for that if you want to search the frame number here, there, so we need to just fetch the value from the hash table and you need to match with any of the page number it is just pointing to. So if it matches with if this value matches with any of the page number, so you could just fetch the corresponding frame there. So that is what we are just having that has been just mentioned over here. If page number matches with the first node, the frame number is fetched and used for calculating the physical address. Otherwise, entire linked list is searched till we just get the match. So otherwise, if you do not find any match, so definitely it's a page fault. That page is not there over here. So next is the inverted page table. So this is the third way of representing the page table. So that is the inverted page table. It's an alternative approach to deal with the drastic page table size growth. So how do we do that? We'll see. So in this, logical address is generated by the CPU will be in this form. So it is just going to have 3 parts. So there in the original PT, it had only 2 parts. One was the page number and other was the page offset. But in the inverted page table, the CPU just going to generate the logical address which has 3 entries: the process ID, page number and the page offset. So the process ID gives a unique ID of the ID number of the process. For each of the process, there will be a unique ID. So each entry in the inverted page table is a combination of process ID and its page number. For every process, there might be several pages. So we need to tie the page number of that particular process. So we have to make that as the entry in the inverted page table. So page number and its relevant process ID. Whenever CPU generates a logical address, the process ID and the page number combination is picked from this logical address and searched in the inverted page table. So let us just look at the diagram, you will better understand. When the CPU generates the address, so it is just going to have a logical address in this way. We have a 3 entries here, PID and P, the process ID, and this is the page number, and this is the offset. So when it generates the logical address in this way, the combination of PID and P will be fetched, and that combination will be searched in the inverted page table. So now the index of the inverted page table is the frame number. So it's the inversion of the normal page table. In the normal page table, the content was the frame number and the page number was the index. But here the index is the frame number, the content is the combination of process ID and the page number. That's what inverted page table. So we need to look into the combination of PID with the P as the entry. When it generates, pick the combination of PID with the P, search the entry. You have to match these two combination in the entry of this page table, inverted page table. Suppose if you find that combination somewhere here, you are going to fetch the index of it. Since the index is the frame number, so get that index value as the frame number. So add the offset, get the particular location on that particular frame would be reached on the physical memory. So that is that is just the opposite of the normal page table working. So when match is found, so that index value that would represent the page number is fetched and used to obtain the physical address. If no match found, so it might tell us that so there is a page fault probability. So thank you.